Okay, so some of our key objectives, our key principles, or hopefully some of the outcomes that we're going to get from the program are below. So are right there. So six of them. I'm going to try and outline them. There could have been 20 of them. There could have been two of them. They kind of because they kind of all interchange or mix together. So the key one or number one, I suppose, that I had to put there is restore movement at the rib cage and the T spine by improving respiration. So when we say rib cage and T-spine, I really just mean the thorax, so that whole area around the body there. And compression and expansion and breathing is how we do that. So there's three, I think, when I think about it, really, there's three parts to that. I think they're all just kind of the same, but there's three parts. One is changing the shape of the thorax itself, so from the inside out. So as I start to inhale and exhale and improve how I breathe, the thorax will actually change shape. So I'll start to get expansion in areas of my body which are previously been closed off. So I will literally the thorax will start to change shape. And it is a very changeable area of the body. There's tissues and bones there and all different things, and it's quite malleable, it's quite changeable. So if you see a rugby player or an AFL player or whatever, a footballer, Gaelic footballer, and you see a guy taking a shoulder into the rib cage, you literally see his body melt into the other guy's rib cage. So like things move in there a lot. So we can change the shape of that quite a bit, and respiration is what does that more than anything else. So number one, change the shape of the rib cage from the inside out. Number two, improve how the ribs move, which is very much related to the first one. So literally, you should start to feel that your entire rib cage as a whole, but also individual joints in the rib cage actually start to open and close better. And then number three is, what is number three? It's actually improving like the position that the rib cage rests in or likes to move towards. So a lot of people will have an entire rib cage that kind of goes forward and up and out, and we're going to improve that resting position because we need to try and get that rib cage to be stacked under the head and above the pelvis in some kind of a nice stacked vertical position, and have these natural curves in our spine that should naturally be there. And if it's like protracted out in front, because most people's rib cage is, and they're squeezing their shoulder blades together and all of these things, then the scapula doesn't have a nice round part of a rib cage to glide over. So three parts there: change the shape from the inside out, change the movement, change the resting position and the orientation. Second one, improve the relationship between the scapula and the rib cage. It's very much related to the first one, but most people go, when they have shoulder problems or neck problems, they go straight after the scapula and try and do all things with the scap, the shoulder blade. And actually, if you haven't addressed the rib cage first, which should be round at the back of the body, and the scap should be round, and they should kind of meet each other and be able to glide over each other. If we don't do that, then having a flat rib cage and a round scapula, it's a little bit pointless doing like mobility exercises for that, or strength exercises. Not pointless, but it's not, you won't get as much benefit as if they actually can move over each other and have a little bit more stability and a little bit more sensation of the brain sensing that the scap can rest on the rib cage is a huge thing. So that's why we kind of address it in that way, and the breathing stuff usually comes first. Third one, learn to build tension distally through the hand so that your body can let go of tension proximally, so through the neck and shoulders and spine. So I'll try and help you understand and think about this as a foot. So the hand is the foot. And when you're walking, if you can't get weight into different parts of the foot, your brain can't sense the ground very well, you can't get that compression against the floor very well, then what it's going to do instead is, so you can't get tension through the foot and all of these things, or maybe you have too much tension there, but what it's going to do is start to tension parts of the body up higher up more proximally to protect it. So it's a bracing and protective mechanism. So you start to see co-contractions like that just can't let go, not in a good way. They just can't let go around the spine, around the hips, like super tight, super protective. And actually, a lot of the time, when you just help that foot to move, start to feel different foot pressures on the floor, then you'll start to see that like the foot starts to do a better job. The brain has a better sense of where I am in space, and it can let go of some of that protective tone and just let me move in a more fluid way proximally. So that's what we're doing with the hand there. We don't talk about it all the time in the program or anything like that. We talk about it some of the time, but when I cue it, I want you to pay attention to it. So when I do mention the hand, try to do what I'm saying there. Don't just ignore me. Um, some people will, but try not to. Okay. So when I talk about pressurizing the hand, when I talk about pushing through the hand, we're trying to learn to, or when we do our wall push up and stuff like that, we are trying to learn to build tension distally. It's not just that, oh, this is a push up exercise. I'm really good at push ups. I've got this already. No, we're trying to learn to build tension from distal to proximal rather than being floppy down here and just tensing the hell out of my neck proximally as a protective mechanism, because this is valuable real estate up here and my brain will protect it proximally by tensing if it doesn't feel like it can protect distally by being strong down here. Okay, so that's really important. Number four, simple, is simple. Restore the shoulder's ability to move through its full excursion. So basically, we just train the shoulder in all different angles and get moving in all different ways. One thing I would note about that is you'll see some movement systems that train the shoulder like a robot, and you do your circles with the robot and don't let anything else move. We don't do that. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, even though I think it's um, quite a slow way to make progress and quite an inefficient way to try and regain shoulder movement. We actually let the spine move, we let the ribs move. We appreciate that. When I reach my left hand forward, I'm probably going to want to rotate my thorax to the right. Like, it's not robotic, it's actually what should actually happen as I move. And the same when I lift weights, we allow that little bit of movement. So we're coupling the shoulder and decoupling the shoulder with the scap, with the rib cage, all of these things, rather than locking things into place. Because I think people who have issues in the upper body are already locked into place. They are locked up and they need to be freed. So we're setting the shoulder free, setting the scap free, setting the neck, setting the thorax free. Then, very much related to that, teach the body to move freely under the neck. This is the neck, this is the head, this is the head, this is the thorax. We're teaching the body to move freely under that, and then we're teaching the neck to move freely on the body. So here's the body, neck can move on that, or I can keep my neck still and my head still, and I can actually move my thorax underneath that. So these are two things that I need to be able to do. And I think the one thing that will derail this program and any other program is a neck that can't actually let go and just chill. So big thing is chilling the neck, and that's why we have our neck resource in this as well as a bonus. If the other stuff is helping but not fully helping, then I would expect that to help a little bit more. And then the last one, build strength, resiliency, and intermuscular coordination in the upper body without sacrificing movement options, unlike many traditional strength training methods. So basically, we're trying to build strength. This isn't about maximal strength or anything like that. We're just trying to build some strength in the tissues and resiliency, and also have good movement options at the same time. I don't need to be the strongest person in the world if I can move really well and spread load across tissues. I do need to be super strong in every single tissue if all the load is going locally and focally to one area. So the one area thing is where you see a lot of elbow problems and knee problems and all of these things. It's because the body doesn't have the ability to actually disperse force around the body and share it. So it goes to tissues that are not designed to take that much load. So we're trying to improve the coordination, the intermuscular coordination. It can be spread around the body. When I can do that, I don't have to be a powerlifter who can bench press as much, God knows how much weight, to actually stay pain free. And it's not always that, I shouldn't even mention pain, just to move well. And it's not always that, oh, the answer is just get stronger, just get stronger. It's just get stronger, but make sure my joints can move through the ranges that the articulating surfaces of the joints tell us they should be able to move through, and how they should coordinate with the and couple and decouple with the other joints. So that's the kind of the overarching goal then. So there are kind of 6 key objectives, 6 key principles if you wanted to dig down into them. I hope people understand them. I hope people, you won't understand them by reading them. You'll understand them by slowing down, doing some of the exercises, and starting to see where that fits in. So let me know if you have questions on that in the Facebook group, and hopefully that video helps you understand some of my, at least some of my thought process behind some of the things in this program.